clean apart real quick. And I think I'm gonna go work this morning, and then I have to work again at 12, which is work. I'll take it. Some people don't like to work. If you have not had consistent income, like where you're getting X amount every day, so you know how much you can spend, you know where you can live, etc., don't complain. It could be worse. There are people out there that are really struggling. Struggle can always teach you there's a different kind of struggle. So, whatever you are experiencing, the universe has aligned you with that to get what you want out of life, but to pay back your negative energy. I have negative energy. Things I've said in my life. I had a newly paid for. I didn't say it a lot when I had the Porsche. I had a Porsche and a Mercedes station wagon. I didn't say mean things a lot then. But as time progressed, and I remember I had a new Audi wagon, an A3, fully loaded and paid for. And I remember someone was really rude, like a rude driver. And I don't remember what car they were in, but they were really rude. And I thought to myself, at least mine is paid for. And it was really rude. And I've been known to think things like that. So anyway, it would end up, the universe is like, well. And I wanted an Audi Q7. And so I took my car and I traded it in for an Audi Q7. And you know damn well they didn't give me what I paid for it. And if I remember correctly, it was less than a year old or a year old. So I could have gotten way more if I sold it privately. And things would happen in my life that would align me to not have a car that was paid for. So I would know what that guy felt, what that guy was going through. So that guy must have been going through some shit because I went through some shit. So what you wish on others becomes your reality. And what happens is, on my Instagram, I explained, imagine, if you will, you are a jar. You're a jar. I'm going to go further with my explanation because on Instagram, I just said, say you are a jar and you just keep filling yourself with negative energy. Because what you put out there, it's like a one for you and a one for me, a one for you and a one for me. The thing about positive energy, it rises, it lifts, it picks people up. But if you show positive energy to a negative person, like you might walk up, this person, say this person is one of those, what are those things called, like a Velcro board. And this person, and your positivity sticks on their Velcro. But say they've got so much negative stuff on their Velcro that your positivity just kind of rubs and falls off because there's nowhere for it to stick. It's like repelling it. That's how life is in general. It is not by accident that you are experiencing the things you experience. In your past life, your present life, you are carrying around like you're one of those Velcro people. And you're just keeping it. And you know what happens to you? Sometimes imagine you have little emotional scissors that cut off, say you go to someone and you're like, you take some of your negative patch and then you put it on their little Velcro thing. And before you know it, you gotta be kidding me. Something's making a humming. Oh, I left my thing open. Son of a bitch. When I do certain things, it always comes. I can get really annoyed by certain sounds sometimes. And the universe is telling me to do things. Be the magician of your own life. Be the magician of your own life. This is no joke. If you have something that's bothering you, find a way to calm yourself and deal with what's bothering you. Because you take that negative energy, you hand it over to someone else, they get to do whatever they want with it. Say you go, and this always happens, it never not happens. Say you go to someone and you go, you're an asshole. You know what that person's going to do? It's going to go up to someone else and go, you're an asshole. Then you know what's going to happen to you? Someone's going to come up to you out of the blue and go, you're an asshole. And they're going to add something. Why? Because your negative energy multiplied. It just, so all of a sudden, everyone's calling you an asshole and you're like, what the hell is going on? Why is everybody being mean to me? Then you have to go back and go, oh, I was part of this equation. I started this equation today. Yes, when you're mean to people. When you're mean to people, you teach them how to be mean. You're like, this is how you do it. I was a really sweet kid, is what I was told. Everyone around me used to say, you're like the nicest person. You are so, even up until a few years ago, you're the nicest person. Even now, some people will say, you're the nicest person. But there are other people that will say, I'm not fucking with that bitch. That bitch isn't fucking around. She will fucking hurt your feelings and not even care. But I do care. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But the thing is I already know why you are the way you are. I can meet you and know why you are the way you are based on the things that you say to me, because I've paid attention to so much negativity in my life, wondering, why are they wasting their time? I mean, they're doing it because it was done to them, so it's pointless. It's like a waste of time. But people do it anyway. They do it on the internet all the time. And what's funny is they don't realize they're hiding behind a screen to be mean. Because people are not even hiding behind a screen to be mean. Say you're talking to someone and they have 3 profiles. One is to find love, one is to find friends, and one is to take all the frustration out because they cannot find love and they cannot find friends. So they want to get rid of all their negative energy. So they put it onto you. They don't realize that you may have been the person that was going to be their friend before they made that 3rd profile to be mean. They don't realize you may be the person they were going to fall in love with until you created that 3rd profile to be mean. You're like your own worst enemy in that regard. We all do it in somehow, some way. They have these expressions. Don't burn bridges. What does burning bridges imply? Burning bridges means manipulation. The fact that you would burn a bridge says that's number 3, right? That's hate. That's meanness. Why would you prevent someone from coming over the bridge? What if you don't find love in that person, but that person is the most amazing love that another person has experienced? So why wouldn't you want to plant flowers on that bridge, do something positive and loving and encouraging, and leave that imprint? Because you know what happens? If they find love, you sure as hell are going to find love. Why do you want to tear down your past relationship? Because the person that's coming to you is going to tear you down just like you did them. That's how we are aligned. Thanks. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to teach a little bit of quantum theory today. I'm going to teach you in a verbal way. Einstein, when he wrote E equals mc squared, it was a math equation in the end. It was a conversation in the beginning, and it took him 9 years. It's a very hard conversation to have when you're him, because he thinks, okay, let me explain. Okay, I'll explain the flowers on the bridge. If you plant a flower, you are contributing to beauty and life, but you still have to nurture the flower. That's like staying friends with your ex. Say you're friends with your ex, and say your ex taught you how to do something. I'm going to use Jason Mraz. Okay, let's use Jason Mraz. Jason Mraz used to date a girl named Tristan Prettyman. Tristan taught him she took him surfing. She was a surfer. She took him surfing. Now he loves surfing. He got to keep something from that relationship, and it's something he loves. I'm not sure if they're friends anymore. I know she wrote a very scathing song about him, so she's not that happy, or wasn't that happy. But what she forgot was she gave him such an incredible gift that takes him places. He gets to go and experience something that matters to him. And she brought that into his life. I don't know what he brought into her life. It appears heartache. But if she looks at it logically, she ended up with a totally different kind of guy than him. And she had a baby. Now, I'm sure she looks in her baby's eyes and she thinks, I can't imagine loving anyone more than you. She wouldn't have had that experience with that baby or that man if she would have stayed with Jason, right? Why? Because he, by all accounts, is fixated on all of his songs they speak of this other world, right? They speak of a place where he's at. He's somewhere else looking for something else. And what's happening to him now is something that he's like settling for. Not to say he's settling with his wife, because he may very well love her very much. But I haven't seen that she's given him anything like Tristan gave him. He isn't doing anything new, right? He seems to be working more. So she's given him the comfort of home so he can work more. Now, she may go with him, whatever, but it's almost like she's just a best friend. Now, there are different things that people bring to us in our lives. I see his wife as a caregiver. She's a caregiver of his soul right now because something is still missing for him. So as you go through life and you find all of these questions and you try to answer as many as you can, the universe starts making sense. It starts making sense. Now, if you pick a flower, the flower dies. So why do we pick flowers? If you have a dog and you love your dog and you think your dog is the greatest thing in the world, and there's a cow and her baby cow, and the mama cow thinks her baby cow is the greatest thing in the world, but you take the cow and you kill it so you can eat it. that's going to be hard on your spirit, because once you consume that suffering, that love, that loss, that confusion, it shows up in your life. You will experience that love, that loss, that confusion. So imagine, if you will, you're a plant and you're an apple and you fall off the tree. You're like, hey, Mom, what's up? Do I get to go anywhere? I'm just going to lay here on the ground. See, a cat, a dog, a cow can move around. Oh, that's so nice of you. You can explain whatever you want in here. I actually encourage, if you have a YouTube that you do live and you want to pose questions, post it in my feed. I'll follow you and I will try to help you solve the equation. A question is simply an equation. There are so many reasons why we have the answers that we have at any moment in time, but they're always changing. Christmas trees are hard, right? I love Christmas trees. I love them. But I haven't done Christmas trees in a while. I tried. Last year I painted one on my wall. And then I realized what I did was unkind to the wall, because a wall is made of wood. So I just painted over the suffering with something that would cheer me up. And I poked holes in the wall to poke ornaments inside. So it's a catch-22. I mean, the things we do. But that's where we get our own personal suffering from. What you do to nature, you experience through the act of what you do. Say you're someone and for a living you judge people. You're like, it's my job to write reviews. All of a sudden everybody's got commentary on what you do with your life. That's the universe's funny way of going, you do it all day, we're going to do it. Say you go to work and you're like stealing time. You're on Facebook and you're on Instagram and you're like, you're not doing your job. That's nice of you. See, and you'll have blessings. When you don't want to cut something, but then at the same time, I'm going to give you something that happened. I wore a belt yesterday. I wore a leather belt. I stopped carrying leather handbags, but I have partial leather seats, I think. And so the universe says, what? You're carrying a cloth bag around as a handbag, but you won't carry a leather handbag. That doesn't make sense. So what happened yesterday, my dog got a fabric handbag, the strap. Somehow she got through it. So there was a live animal with a belt of fabric on, suffering. My dog was so mad that I tried to take it off and she grazed me. Grazing would embody what the cow was doing before it was killed, right? So the universe gives you everything in exact measurement. So I was aligned for yesterday to happen, and I was really tired, and I had just driven out to see my son, and I went and did his lawn. At first I got food with him, but he got a double hamburger and I got a grilled cheese. The grilled cheese, the cow suffers, like standing there being nursed all day. So I was standing and moving around all day, cleaning, doing my son's laundry, being a caretaker of sorts, is what a cow does. It's like, fine, I'll just stand here. I'm like in hell. Can you imagine what it's like? I've nursed my children. Now, it wasn't a normal situation. I nursed my kids till they were 3 and 4, almost 5. And Noah was almost 4, I think. And I was not happy that last year and a half, I think. I would like cry sometimes. I'd be like, oh my God, I don't want to nurse anymore. And God's like, why don't you want to nurse? Those are your babies. You eat cheese and dairy all the time. Those cows have to nurse so you can eat cheese and dairy. You're going to nurse, damn it. I was like, oh. Okay, but they do need to be milked, but not as much as people think, and by their own children, not by us. Where in the Bible, and the Bible is actually a story on comprehension, did everything make sense? You have to look for the deeper meaning. You have to look for the science in the words. Yeah, a woman has to nurse, but trust me, when your child can eat food, which is the universe saying, but you are food. Why is a cow supposed to be food? Why is everything else food except the mother? And then you wonder, oh, what about the dad? What's going to happen to the dad? What's going on there with the dad? You have to start then understanding what is everyone's message, because we all know that a man is not superior to a woman, nor a woman superior to a man. We are our energy. And each lifetime, and we have many, you come back to pick up where you left off. Say you're someone and you hate your life and everything, and you kill yourself when you die. That's how you die. You take your life. You're going to come back to experience. Say you're one of those people that bombs people. I don't know what those people are thinking, because you're going to come back with no arms or legs. Then you're that big. You're born into that. You don't go somewhere and get virgins. I can assure you. You come back as a virgin with no arms and legs that is abused by people like you were in your past life. That's some fucked up shit. That's messed up. And when you realize that's why things happen, some people will go nuts. Some people are not smart enough, and they'll think, well, they deserve it. And I'm like, the fact that you just thought that means that shit's going to happen to you and your children in this lifetime, and you're going to have to literally live those words. So don't, because it's a cycle and it doesn't ever end. That is how the universe works. That we all take turns. So what you wish on someone else becomes your reality. What you judge in someone's appearance is how you will look. If you go, oh my God, I hate that nose, or if you keep saying you hate your nose, or you just hate, all of a sudden one day your child is born and it has a nose like that person's nose that you hated. Or they could have a nose like that person's nose you loved. And you could say, I love my nose just fine. And if you give a rational explanation as to why you like that person's nose or don't like that person's nose, you're going to experience, oh my dog, why dog? You're going to experience all kinds of shifts in your energy. Everything that happens is reality. So, yes, misery. Well, when I'm miserable, I don't love company. I'm like, stay away from me because I don't want my negative energy to impact you. I stay by myself a lot these days. The things that I'm writing about in this paradigm, it's my life, and it's how I've seen the universe work in my life. And the things that I experience are pretty exact. Okay. Yes. So imagine we're all going in life and we're all trying to figure out how the universe works. Well, I figured out a lot. And the things that I know, some of them scare me, but some of them not so much. I was a kind person. I was a generous person. I was a fair person. But I let someone take care of me. And therefore now I take care of others. But I was taken care of because I took care of others when I was younger. So anyway, my books will explain. It'll be much easier. Right now I'm distracted by my dog and I'm distracted by the guys blowing things around. And I'll write more on my Instagram and I'll say more here later. And I will give you, I'm writing my books, so I will give you some excerpts of things that I've written so far, and they're the stories and how they play out, and it'll be easier for you to understand. I can tell you what's going to happen in your life by you telling me what's already happened in your life. I can tell you what's going to happen to your mom, your dad, your grandpa, your grandma. Bye. Thank you for stopping in. I really appreciate it. So anyway, please post if you have a question. It could be about a friend or a family member or your dog. If you post it below, I will write out the explanation of why it could have happened and what will happen. So anyway, see you guys later.